I was born in 1982 and grew up obviously in the 80s and the early 90s watching, old style TVs like this. It's not like the flat screens that we have today. Even though I do have a few old tube TVs in my video game room, and growing up in the 80s and 90s, we had the best movies and mostly cartoons. The cartoons of yesterday kicked ass compared to today. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking when they have half the stuff they do on TV anymore. There was nothing like coming home right after school at like 3 o'clock and turning on the TV, or even Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. to like noon. You get to watch all those badass fucking cartoons, and there was literally hundreds of them. Maybe a quarter of the channels on at the time had some form of cartoons that you were able to watch. But then everything, would change the difference between the regular cartoons you would watch and then ones with video games in it. And that's what would blow my fucking mind. Difference between cartoons and video game cartoons is on the video game cartoons, there's already a universe built around them that they were supposedly being based on. Some of the cartoons that were based on video games did not follow much of what was going on. But then at the time of 80s and 90s, a lot of them didn't have much backstory to go on. And there were some of them that were pretty good and some of them that weren't. And, in the 80s or 90s when you're, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, sometimes back then you just didn't give a fuck, really. You didn't know what it meant. And so basically what we're going to do is I'm going to take a look at 10 video games right here that were cartoons. And some of them I've watched, and there's maybe one or two that I never did when I was doing research for this video. And I came across and, whoa, there's a cartoon for that? And I checked them out, and it's just my quick overview of the series and like maybe some thoughts and opinions and some facts about it. So hey, stick around, you can drink one on me and check some of these out.
They're moving real fast, they're the only ones who can get there on time. And never too far behind, they're always fighting crime. Undercover and facing adventure in the danger zone. Pretty soon they'll be off on a mission, come and watch them go. What's behind their stunt show?
Pole Position cartoon was produced by DiC. It was for CBS in 1989 for the Saturday morning children's lineup. It only ran for 13 episodes, only one season. And well, it really had nothing to do with the game, except the vehicles. With the colors, wheels being red for Pole Position 1 and Roadie being blue for Pole Position 2. Instead of being basically cars that just race against the clock, they had to have a different dynamic what the cartoon would be based on. They were actually undercover for the Pole Position stunt show, so they were basically crime fighters that were undercover. The cars themselves had talking computers that they called modules, and they could be able to change the car into various modes between hoverjets, skis, and such. I thought they would be kind of annoying, but whatever. When you had very little to go off for the game, you had to kind of create a cartoon around it.
me.
I happen to know a lot of computers who think I'm a pretty funny guy.
I'm sure a pocket calculator would think you're hysterical.
Nice job, Will. I estimate the water track in 7 seconds. Time to lock in the hydrofoil mode.
Listen now, Tess. I'm not really sure my hydrofoil is working very well.
You're such a worrier, Will. Everything will be fine. Now please, hurry. Dan, what are you doing?
Listening to Rhodey's stupid joke. Why?
Your hydrofoil, Dan. Your hydrofoil.
Rhodey, the water! Quick, go to Hydra! Rhodey, will you please get us out of here?
Have you heard the one about the soaking wet driver who forgot his automatic pilot?
Very funny.
Automatic pilot engaged.
Is everything ready?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Relax, Vance. I'll steal one of the cars and they'll follow me in the other one. You'll get both computer modules.
And the information I need to destroy pole position.
I'll see you in Sierra City. Make sure you have my money ready.
A deal's a deal.
Who are you? What's happening?
He's got my command code, Daisy. There's nothing I can do.
How'd you get in here? Come on, get out of the car.
Hey, you're trying to steal Will.
Colonel William Giles, one of the greatest martial artists in the world, travels the global tournament circuit, using it to conceal his top-secret mission as leader of an elite group of international crime fighters known only by their code name, Street Fighters. The heroic man-beast, Blanca, hard-kicking fighting machine, Chun-Li, and a team of the most amazing warriors ever seen have joined forces with Guile to combat the criminal empire of Shadaloo and its superhuman leader, Bison. They have their own code of honor, discipline, justice, commitment, and together they will triumph against the forces of evil. Street Fighter!
I'm sure, I don't need to say anything about Street Fighter or the franchise or anything. And obviously, this cartoon was based off of the game, but more so the live action movie that they did in 94, 95. The Street Fighter cartoon was produced by Invision Entertainment, which aired on USA as part of the Cartoon Network Express. It aired from 1995 to 1997. It had 2 seasons with 13 episodes per season, making it 26 episodes total. And well, basically this follows what happens, I guess, after the live action Street Fighter movie, but very, very loosely.
That's right, punk. I used to be. Answer grab! Trier! Deserter! Why'd you have to go and do that? Coward! On TV it said when you were in Shadaloo with the international peacekeeping forces, You ran out on your own juice!
Oh, this is delicious!
Guess you won't be needing those tapes I made for you. You want me to get rid of them?
Don't be hasty. Not until I see those street fighters pummeled to dust, which should be any moment now. Yes! Yes!
What's kind of cool is a little bit down the road in later episodes, you will see more characters from the other Street Fighter, franchises and stuff. Like Alpha Rose shows up, and right here you see Guy from Final Fight. And Cody and Hagar do eventually show up later too in this episode.
He calls it Bushin. He picked up the basics in Tibet, and then he added a few moves of his own.
Looks more like dancing than street fight.
Oh yeah? Look, have you ever seen anything that precise? Look, this guy can chop a fly in half in mid-flight.
Yeah? Well, I still say it's a wussy way to fight. Oh, I can't wait to take him on.
Well, Ken, looks like there's about to be an opening in his dance card. Yeah! That looked like a wussy punch to you?
I could still kick his bush kick.
Guy, it's for you.
Guy here.
Ken, Ryu, look, I'm sorry, I gotta go.
Hey, man, what's the deal?
I just got a call from my buddy Cody. His girlfriend's been kidnapped. I gotta help him out.
Not without us.
The animation looked okay, I guess, kind of for his time, but there's so many mistakes you can find in certain episodes if you really pay attention. I didn't really care for the series much at all, and even though the times it was on, there wasn't really anything else on, so I'd end up watching it. I probably did end up seeing about half of the series, but I never, don't ever remember much of it at all.
Okay. Game time's over, boys. It's time the two of you took the big sleep.
The game is here, boys, and you're the losers. One step closer and I blow a hole through her the size of the Grand Canyon.
Don't listen to him, Cody. He has to be brought to justice.
If you know what's good for you and for your girlfriend, you'll do exactly what I tell you, Cody.
Cody, now!
You hurt my testicle!
Jessica, you're all right. No one beats me. No one. So long, Mayor. Help me. Somebody help me.
To be a dragon, you gotta be strong. Humble, never bragging. Always fight for right, battling wrong with the power of the dragon. Live the code of the dragon. Fight for right, the might of the dragon. With the mark of the dragon. Live the code of the dragon.
Never intentionally harm another. Do not battle if you can avoid it. You, Billy Lee, a Dragon Master now.
Dragon Master was born with a mark of the double dragon. Live the code of the dragon. Fight for right, the might of the dragon. With the mark of the dragon. With
Double Dragon cartoon, oh my god, it would basically be another beat 'em up that would have nothing to do with the video game at all. They would have swords and such, and some of the enemies would just not even be in the adaptations of what the game had. It had very little to do with it. It was just a disappointment. And I don't even understand why in 95, 94, I was actually watching the show.
You'll be safe here, little one. Oldest Dragon, the Shadow Warriors have taken my son's twin brother. Please protect him while I find my other son. He belongs here. He was born with the mark of the Double Dragon. His name is Billy Lee.
He shall be protected.
Thank you, Oldest Dragon.
Go now. Search for your other son. You shall be a great dragon, Billy Lee. You shall live by the code of the dragon. You shall be a champion of the good, a protector of the weak and innocent. You shall become a Dragon Master.
The cartoon was produced by DiC. It ran for 2 seasons with 13 episodes apiece for 26 episodes in total. It ran from 1995 to 1997. Episode 1 is actually very, and I do mean very, loosely based off the first NES game, where we find out Jimmy Lee is the Shadow Master. And then, like the game, just like in the cartoon, when Jimmy Lee is defeated by Billy Lee, he comes to his senses and agrees to fight the Shadow Warriors. As this cartoon progresses, they gain some different abilities with their swords and their dragon spirits and all that stuff. It's just kind of funny.
Billy, it's the Shadow Warriors! Come on! You have to stop them!
Michael, remember the code of the dragon. The only sure way to win a fight is to avoid it.
It's gonna be Slaughter City out there, man! The Shadowcopter's moving in over the park!
Billy, this time the boy is right. Sometimes a dragon must fight the battle in order to stop the war. The shadow of evil is falling over our city. It is more powerful now than ever before. I cannot stop it, but you can. Never forget the code of the dragon. Do not battle if you can avoid it. If you must fight, do not injure. Never intentionally harm another.
Yeah!
Press the sword to your forehead. Feel its power.
Wow!
Ahead lies your greatest test, the power of the shadow. Remember, good and evil are as close as the other side of the mirror.
As you command, Oldest Dragon, I will fight for right.
You, Billy Lee, are Dragon Master now. Repeat after me, Jimmy Lee. The power of might.
The power of might.
And I'm sure you recognize Jimmy Lee's voice, and that's done by Scott McNeil, who's famous for doing so many voices, such as Rat Trap from Transformers Beast Wars. He was in Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing, Inuyasha, and so many more cartoons and anime.
Billy Lee, the power of right.
The power of right.
Now, together, we are Double Dragons.
We are double dragons.
You're a dragon, you gotta be strong. Humble, never bragging. Always fight for right, battling wrong with the power of the dragon. The code of the dragon. Dragon Master was born with a mark of the
again, it was a cartoon that was on when no other cartoons were on. It was pretty late, I guess, on the Saturday mornings, like a 10:30, 11 o'clock slot. It was just so horrible and cheesy, and it turned me off because it really had nothing to do with the original games that I was used to for the NES. Of course, like I said, the 5th installment that would come out for Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis was made from this show, but other than that, it was horrible. It sucked.
Yeah! Whoa! Uh-oh! Oh, how'd the law get here so fast?